Hello, my name is Ash, a counselor in training. This is my Relatable study podcast for individuals who need help studying for their NCE, CPCE, and other related counseling exams. I'm going to go through many questions from multiple resources and make the answers relatable to both you and me. So get your listening ears on and let's get studying. What is neural stimulus? Neural stimulus is a classical conditioning theory which a stimulus will initially produce no significant responses until they are paired with an unconditioned stimulus. I would recommend reviewing Pavlov's dogs and these conditioning models because a stimulus that does not elicit a response will have an unconditioned stimulus. When professional career counselors use the term leisure, they technically mean A, the client is having fun at work or away from work, B, the client is relaxing at work or away from work, C, the client is working at less than 100% capacity at work or away from work, D, the time the client has away from work which is not being utilized for obligations. The answer is D. When professional career counselors use the term leisure, they technically mean the time the client has away from work, which is not being utilized for obligations. For example, when I am not at work, I am doing something fun, such as watching my favorite show, drawing, or reading. But when I am at work, I'm fulfilling my obligations to my job. What is new career adaptability? The new career adaptability is the ability to adjust to career goals and behaviors in response to the changing conditions. For example, I had a continuous change of jobs. In the past couple years, I went from a fast food worker to a retail worker to someone who worked in a call center to someone who worked at an attraction to a photography job. I had to adjust these career goals and behaviors in response to changing conditions. This is an example of new career adaptability. Which of the below options are not associated with an increased risk of suicide in older adults? A, being single, B, experiencing a desire to die, C, having adequate control of physical pain, D, alcohol abuse. The answer is C. Having an adequate control of physical pain is not associated with an increased risk of suicide in older adults. But being single, expressing a desire to die, and alcohol abuse are increased risks of suicide in older adults. Counselors need to be aware of how these risks can influence suicidality in older adults as well as teenagers. What is the next of kin decision making? The next of kin decision making is the legal authority of close relatives making healthcare or treatment choices when an individual cannot consent. For example, I had an elderly great-grandfather. When he couldn't make decisions for himself, someone within my family made a decision for him to put him in a nursing home. So the next of kin made that decision. That is an example of the next of kin decision making. That is all 5 questions for this episode. Thank you for listening. Keep calm and study on.